Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to design Navbar in web pages. So when we start designing web pages, first thing we need to think over the Navbar design. How to design a Navbar. Okay, sometime you have to design a Navbar horizontally, or sometime it may be a vertical. Maybe a vertical. Okay. So what is a Navbar? Okay, so let's see one demo. I will show you here. So if you have a list of links, that links contain a link of, or that is a hyperlink for the to redirect to the new page, okay, or another page, or to the another website. So using that, so this is what the navbar contain. Whatever you can see here, navbar contain links, different links. And if I say, so this is a navbar. Okay, so don't consider this entire block is a navbar. Okay, so this is your navbar. Smallest part, whatever I have bordered, is navbar. Then what is the biggest part that I have selected? So that is a header. Okay, sometime there may be a situation that you will have to combine both header and navbar. Okay, or sometime there may be a situation that you don't need to combine, or you may have a separate header and separate footer. So here you can see that this is a navbar that I am going to highlight here, and above that there is a different section for header. So web page design may differ. Okay, may differ, or every website have a different design, we can say. It's not necessary to have the same structure, but always we say that headers first, then navbar, then whatever the content should that page have, and at the end there will be a footer. Okay, so I will show you the footer here. So this is the footer from this part. Okay, from where I can say, okay, I will highlight. So from the here, the footer is started, and it may last, okay, after few more links in the freelancer section. So this is how a website is designed. And we have to see in this video that how to design a navbar, means how to design this part. Sometimes you may have this navbar vertical. Okay, so in that case, how it works or how to align, everything we will discuss in detail about navbar design. Again, if you understand this navbar design, you would be able to design the header automatically. So the main task in the navbar is that you have to bring the elements or your list of links in the horizontal format, means in this way. And here you will have a list. Okay, but how to bring, for that purpose we should know what properties we need to declare, and that property should be applicable to that particular element. So where people get stuck, they do not understand what property should be given to which element, and that is the challenge. Means if you do not understand, and if you do trial and error, that if this property works here or not, then if it doesn't work, then you will remove that property, and if you will try to apply that property to the different element. Okay, so this will not a good practice. So try to understand the meaning of each property that we are going to use to design a navbar. Okay, so let's say I have this, I will open this, and I don't have added any content to this. Now what I will do, I will go for this epic pen navbar design or header design. So now here navbar and header is combined on one horizontal row. So what especially you need to do, you need to divide this part, or you need to divide. You have a div, unlimited divs you can use in your website. There will not be any issue. So this is your header. Okay, and inside a header there is a small portion for navbar. Okay, and there is a one more portion for your logo. So this is a very simple design. Okay, then in that situation, or in this situation, you need, what you need to do, you need to divide your main div into two parts. Okay, so if you divide this into two parts, it will be easy to align the elements. Element is nothing but any content in HTML. Okay, so now I wanted to start with this logo. I want this logo on my page. What I can do, I can Google it, or I can take the reference directly from any of the uh, page. You see, I will not take this logo directly. Or instead of that, what I will do, I will use another image for the replacement of this logo. And I have this image as a HTML. Okay, so I will use this, or I may have a, okay, I can use this webcam logo also. There will not be any problem. Okay, so let's say I have to add a webcam logo. So what I need to do, first go here and look at the page. First you need a container. Okay, one biggest div that will contain that header and navbar, means that logo and navbar. Okay, so I will go here and I will say div. Okay, and for this div I will say class as a container, or sometime if you want you can say header also, it is fine. Okay, both the names are fine for this. So now we have taken a header, means one biggest div, and we don't have anything inside this div. So whenever you start with a web page design, always use these properties. Okay, universal selector, star means universal selector, and you have to say margin 0 and padding 0, padding 0. So what it will do by default, if any element, any HTML element has default margin and padding, that will be reduced, or that will be changed to 0, so that we would be able to align the elements as we want very easily without affecting the layout of any part. Okay, so this is necessary. So that's why we will use universal selector. Whenever we use universal selector, it will be that properties will be applicable for the all the element of HTML. Okay, so now I have a container. Now what I will do, I will take another container. Means what? So initially we, at very first we taken this as a container. Later on I have to take this part as a one container, and this next part as a next container. Okay, so this is how we have to divide the headers. Okay, so similarly what I will do, I will divide first. First you need to make sure that you prepare a layout of page or layout of a design. So to achieve the layout we will use the div here. Again I will say div. Okay, and I have to add two divs because I have to divide that logo and navbar into two different parts. So for that purpose, div is a division tag. So now you may got a picture about what is the div and what is the purpose of div. So it will divide that header into two parts, and I will say class logo. Okay, and here I will say class navbar. So this is how we are going to divide. Now if you look at the page, okay, you don't need to have a 50% width for this, or you don't need to divide as much as necessary. We can divide, or we, if you want, you can decide the how much side or how much space should be aligned to the logo, and how much space should be aligned or should be given to the navbar. So now what I will do, I will say dot header. Okay, but whenever you start giving a css, make sure that first you give the property for the outer element. Okay, later on you should give the property to the inner element. So this hierarchy should be maintained so that it is easy whenever you wanted to edit the changes after a long time. It will be easy to understand. Okay, inside a header we have a, if you look here, you will see that inside a header we have a two more containers as a logo and navbar. So where header starts, immediately below that this property should be mentioned. So it will be easy for us. So if you go somewhere and at the last, if you mention this property, it is difficult to find, or it is difficult to design the web pages. Now we are going to see only a navbar, but in case of complete web page design, it is mandatory or it is recommended to declare the property for each container at one place. At one place means they should come, I mean, they should not be spreaded anywhere in page. They should be followed one sequence. That parent, then child, child, child. Okay. Once the entire parent finish, then you can take the another container and you can start for that container. Don't mix up the properties between two containers. Okay. So now we have header. And for the header, I need to decide a height. And I will say height is 80 pixel. Yes, that is sufficient. And to show you, okay, width I will say auto. By default, it is taking 100%. And to show you this, I will say background color gray. If I go here and if I refresh here, you will see that you will have one container with gray background. So this is what the portion we have decided for this type of navbar. So you have to decide. You have to say that if you want to change it to 100 pixel, you can change. No one is going to ask you why this. Okay. So this is what the size of my first element of page or navbar and header and navbar. Okay, sometimes it header and navbar may combine, sometimes it may different like this. So we will see how to design this part also. So at very first place, okay, so what I need to do, I need to divide this area of these two divs also. So just below, I will say dot logo. Okay, and this logo should take a width of, I will say 30% of my entire width. Okay, and I will say background color blue alert or this. Okay, so now I have declared width, but height, what height I should give? So always make sure that you whenever you design navbar, whatever the height, its parent content, that height should be given to the child element so that it should look properly. Okay. And if I go here and if I refresh the page, you can see that that much area is here, whatever the color, green, blue color, okay, blue color shade is there. So that color shade is indicating that that is what the area we have decided for the logo. Now it's fine. Similarly, what I will do, I will add the property to the navbar also. So I will say navbar. Okay. And width is nothing but 70%. Right. Remaining width I will give. Remaining width I will give to the this navbar part. And height should remain same. So I will say 100 pixel. And then background color. Background color. Okay, with respect to background, dark cyan, dark gray. Okay, dark orange I will use. No problem. What we use. And here you can see that the div is two divs are there. And since a div is a block level element, right? Since a div is a block level element, so in this way we have a header part. Inside this, what I wanted to do, I have to take one div here, right? And okay, I will add any color. Okay, this color I will add. And after this, I have to take another div here for the navbar. But by default, this div is coming to this side. Means it is starting from left side. Right. This is what here we can see. And I have to move that div to the right of first div, right? Or I can say to the left side, or it should be aligned left to the first div. And this is orange. Okay. So this should be in this way. These divs are aligned in this way. For that purpose, we need to say that hey div, you should align or you should float left. Okay. But we have two different classes, no issues. Okay, in this case, if you have a different classes, but still the element is div, and both the div are a child element to the header. So whenever you have a two child containers, and if you want to align in one property, it will work, so it will happen. So for that purpose, you need to give the parent reference. So parent is header. Okay, dot header space div. Space is a dissident selector that I have discussed in my previous videos. If you do not watch, or if you have not watched my previous video, you should go to understand what is the meaning of, or how to give the each property, what is the meaning of display, what is the meaning of position, what is the meaning of z index. Everything I have discussed to design the web page. Okay, so what I will do, instead of spending time on that, I will say here dot header div and float. And the moment I say float left, here you will see both the elements are sitting in a single container, right? So this is how now this is how a container or outer parts or outer elements are designed. Very simple. Until you do not mention this property, this will be a block level elements. The moment you say float left, automatically these divs will get converted to different property, display inline property, or they behave like a display inline, and they will sit on one horizontal line. Okay, and like this, as many elements you can add, there will not be an issue. Now I have to add an image here. Okay, I will say image, and source I have to give. So what is the name of my image? If I say logo dot png. Okay, and for that purpose, I will add an image and I will say logo dot png. So now default height and width of that logo is very big. So if I refresh, it will disturb the content. Here you can see that logo is very, very big, and that is not coming and sitting. So I can change. Oh, I can change that height and width. And what I will do, I will say 100%. Okay. So what I will do, I will add a height here. So height should not be greater than this height. So tentatively, I will say 100 pixel. And width. Okay, if I say width should be 20% or not 20%. Okay. So for parent, so if I mention here 20%, what will happen? I will show you. If I mention here 20%, so initially I will, when any developer will think that, okay, if I mention 20%, so out of the 30%, whatever we have taken 30% for this due first logo due, so it will take 20%. That will not happen. Whenever you give a property to the child element, okay, whenever you give a property to the child element, that properties will be taken as compared to its parent if it is in a percentage. Okay. And if I refresh this, you will see that, okay, it is taking 20% of what this blue color due means, the whatever the width that this logo due has taken. So 30% of 20% is very less. So what I will say, I will say here as a 80%. Now my logo should look like this. Okay, now it is completely seated or properly fitted in the div. But still you can see that this logo is little bit aligned to the left. You can increase the width to 100% and it will works if you want. But if this design doesn't looks good, and if you want to reduce the width to the 50%, you can reduce. Okay, now the logo is designed in this way. I mean, fitted in this way inside a div. Okay, now it is fine, right? But I want this logo to be little bit shifted to the this side. Means what? Left side. It should take some space. For that purpose, either you can add a margin. Okay, and you can add a margin, but what margin to the image? Okay, or if you take margin and padding, it will change the width or size of this what element parent. It should not take if you apply the property to the div. Okay, so try to apply the property to the image, and if you do not want, it should take, or it should consider that margin or padding or left, whatever the property we will assign to this complete width, or it should not disturb. You can declare this image as a position absolute. But when you want to declare the position as a absolute for this position, you must declare this div, the parent div, as a position relative. Then and then only that will work with this div only. Okay, and now I will say, or I will reduce the height and width. Okay, I will reduce the height and width. I will say 80 pixel. Width is already reduced to look the little bit better design. Okay, and it is fine now. It is 80 pixel and all. So here I have declared a position relative. What it will do, it whenever I mean it will, when we declare image as a position absolute. Okay, so dot position, sorry, not a dot logo space image, and I will say position absolute. Okay, so when I declare position absolute, so if I do not declare parent as a relative, it will take the properties from the entire page site. Okay, and it will not work with relative to the its parent. To work with parent or to work inside this element, this image should not move out of the parent. You should say that the position of parent is relative. So what it will do, this image or this logo should take the property from the container of or from the border of this logo div only. Okay, now okay, what I will do, I will refresh and nothing is happened because I have only declared position property. So now what I will do, I will say left 100 pixel. Okay, maybe it is fine or it should take, and now you can see the difference. That element or that logo is moved by 100 pixel. If this is bigger, if you look that it is moving or getting shifted to the right side, we can reduce that left size. And now I wanted to say that top, and top I will take 10 pixel because it should, we have taken height of, okay, here what, where we are, okay, here we have taken height of 80 pixel and it remains 20 pixel. So I will leave 10 pixel from top. It automatically take the 10 pixel, means that will be the remaining part. And now main thing is that unnecessarily we have added this background color. I don't want to add, or yes, yes, we can remove that. That will not be a problem. So this is how it should look. Now I have to design this part. Okay, now I have to design this part. So what I will do, I need to add a list. Okay, remember this. Whenever you have to design the Navbar or items of now, okay, so in that case, you should always use the unordered list because we don't need list style there, right? And I will say UL, and inside a UL, I will add ELI. Okay, ELI is added, and like this. And if I say pro, it is fine. Okay, I will just to show you a demo, and the pro will start from here because we have not did any alignment here. We need to align this also. So if I hover the mouse, okay, it is just allow me to selecting, but it is not containing any hyperlink. That's why we are not able to see the cursor in this style. Okay, so to make this possible, what you need to do, you need to add the hyperlink here. And to add the hyperlink, we have to use the anchor tag. And then if I say pro, okay, so here you will see that now your cursor is in that style in such a way that you means cursor is ready to click. Okay, when you click, it will redirect to the another page. We have not given any page, so it will not redirect it. But in this style, I need to add the links. Okay, and whenever you have to add the links, your list should contain anchor tag. And okay, four is fine. Okay, last one is there. What is that? It is a download button. Okay, so we will, or I will do the same by in this list only. Okay, so what is the next feature? Affiliated program account. So I will say feature. Okay, affiliated program, and account and health. So I will say account and health. Okay, true feature. Okay, 5. And at last we have a button, right? And button is also clickable event Yes, when you hover the mouse, it should be a clickable event. So what I will do, I will remove this anchor tag, and instead of that, I will say button. And inside a button, I will add anchor tag so that it will make a clickable event. Okay, now let's go and check the style. Okay, so we are getting a button here. Or the button download for free content. So it should not be a free. I will say download for free. Okay. And I will refresh here. But by default, your list is vertical, right? Means what? This li item is, or li element is a block level element. It should always take 100% width. So they will never start. I mean, they will always start on new line. They will never acquire the space as much they want. So I need to change that style. And for that purpose, I need to use the display property. Or if you want to use the display inline, you can use. Otherwise, if simply you declare this float left, that will also work. But when you see that eval or the eval, okay, for the eval, it is taking this dot dot dot. That is a list style, and list style property is always given to the eval element. Means what I will do, I will say navbar space eval. Okay, and navbar space eval. What I need to do now? Okay, this navbar I will pick, and I will bring all the property for the navbar just one below other. Okay, so that it should be properly aligned. Where whenever I have to change the property for the navbar div, entire navbar property should be at one place. They should not be spreaded anywhere. Okay, and do not need to hunt. When I come to this navbar, all other property for the child elements should just below of this navbar. So this is what I am maintaining. And now I will say logo. Okay, sorry, not logo. List style. List style type, and I will say none because I don't want to have these dots. So I will say none, and that dots are removed. Okay, remember this list style type property should be given to this UL only. If you add this property to li, it will not work. Now what I wanted to do, I want this entire list, means all the items in one line, means they should be aligned horizontally. For that purpose, we need to say dot navbar. Okay, navbar is a parent. Inside that we have a UL, and inside a UL we have a li. And for the li, I will say float left. Okay, we do not need to mention the float left for each li. Once we mention, it will work, it will take for all the li. It is applicable for the all the li. And now your list is aligned horizontally. Yes, that's great. Right? It's very easy to design the navbar, but people may think, or if they do not understand the meaning of each property, they will unnecessarily try to add margin, padding, and they will get complicated. I mean, it will be a complicated to design, and people thinks that, oh my god, then why I'm not? Just try to understand the meaning of each property, why you are adding. Okay, in unnecessarily, if you add the property, it will be a bad patch of your website. So what I need to do now? Okay, now I want this list item should take some space from each other, right? So for that purpose, I can add a margin left also, and I will say I am giving this property to the li only. Okay, so that's why margin left. Okay, and when it takes margin left, their length after adding a margin, length of this list item should not go beyond this, otherwise it will add a scroll bar. Horizontally scroll bar will get added. Okay, I will say 100 pixel. Okay, I'm doing it by just a try. Okay, it is not adding a scroll bar, but my button is coming on the new line. Okay, I don't want that. So what I will do, I will say sometime it will add scroll bar, but we have our container, that's why it is not going out. Okay, that's the beauty of giving a separate div, separate parent div for each section. Okay, so that it will not behave improperly. Now what I have did, I have added, or now my design looks beautiful, right? Because it has taken sufficient or enough space. What I will do, I have to make the button little bit larger. So what I will, so I will say 60 pixel. And now it is taking, then that remaining space will be adjusted for this button only. Okay, now I want this list to be aligned vertically, means this entire list items are to be aligned at center. For that purpose, okay, for the vertical alignment, I have discussed in my previous video that line height is a height that is equal to the height of parent div, right? And I will say, now you can see that it is aligned at center. It is aligned at center. Okay, now there is a one more thing, that the color for this is a white color, right? So what I will do, I would like to add a white color, but look at your HTML code. Your li do not have a content. Inside li, we have a one more tag, that or we can say that we have a one more element, that is an anchor element. And if you want to add the property to the text, always make sure that you add a property to that element which is directly containing a text. Okay, if you give the color to the li, it will take, but it will by default, the color of these links will override that property. And that's why change the color to the direct element which contains the text. And for the anchor tag, I will say color white. Okay, and if I refresh here, you can see that color white. Now if you want to change the font style or font size, I can say that font size a little bit medium. Okay, not sure how much it will take. It is by default medium, so I will say large. Okay, and now it looks better. Right, now I don't need this dark orange color at the background. I will remove that so that it looks beautiful. Right, and this content can be changed. Okay, the content and link can be changed anytime. So here, if I go, and I don't want this underline, right? And the underline is taken by this anchor, default property of this anchor, or default property of anchor element or link element. So to reduce to remove that, I need to apply the text decoration none. And if I refresh this, you can see that the underline is gone. Now we are remaining with this download button style. Okay, so if you want to add the style to this button, what you need to do is you need to either classify this button with different class. Okay, that is fine, but we don't have any other button element in this page, so I can take the directly property, but don't do that. Okay, instead of that, it is better to use the class. So I will say download. Okay, I will say download, and I will control C, control C. Okay, I will use this class now to style, and I will say dot download, and okay, I will say color is black. Okay, for tentative, but it will not, I don't think so, it will override the properties of anchor tag. Okay, okay, here you can see that color, what is the color we apply to the button is not applicable. Okay, no problem. I was just checking whether it works or not. It is not working, that's fine. As I said, if we add this color to the link, anchor tag property, default property will dominate that property, properties of li element with respect to color or text decoration. So we need to use that property here. Okay, so now I have taken a download button and I need to add some space around the text. And whenever you wanted to add this space around the text means what? The from it should take a space from border but button border to text. So for that purpose we always go with padding. Okay, and I want a padding from all the side, that's why I'm not using left right, okay, top specific side padding. I will just say padding and I will say 5 px. And if I refresh, you can see that little bit changes happens. Okay. Yes. And if you wanted to add the color, okay, I wanted to say that entire content of that download for free in a black color. In that case, you need to specify the class here. Okay, and I will say down color just to classify. And then only by using this class, you are able to add the color to this, and I will say black. So now it will override the properties. Okay, still it is not taking. It is taking a property of anchor tag. So what I will do, I will add important to this, and it has taken. Okay, so this is how a design or navbar design, horizontal navbar is designed. Now I don't want this gray color, but always make a practice to use the background color when you align the dues or when you make the parent due alignment. Okay, so why this is not showing the element? Because we have a background of white and we have a color text color of white also. That's why. So now if I refresh, it has not saved. Okay. And yes, saved and refresh. And here you can see that. So this is the design of Navbar. Similarly, here, if you can do it for the practice purpose, okay, I will tell how to divide the content. First, take one container for header, okay, and inside a header, you need to take the two divs of 50-50%, okay, and to align these two contents. Don't merge the entire content into one div. If you try to align if you want to add the space between this login but login link and browser browse job link, so for that purpose if you use the margin padding now, it will be a difficult to understand, at least for the new user or new developers, those who are learning how this works. Okay, it will be difficult to understand how this affect the page or your page design. For that purpose, I will suggest don't use the one div for entire container. You can divide it into, okay, as you want. You can take the 50-50, or you can take the 70-30, 70 for first and 30 for last. Okay, it depends upon the developer. It's your choice what to select. And on next line, take another div as a navbar, okay, which is a again sibling element to the header div. So now here what we did, now in this design, what I have did, I have taken navbar, this navbar inside a header. But in this case, you don't have to take inside a header. Navbar is a different. So what I will do, I will make this element as a separate element, and I will say here as a sibling, I will take navbar. Okay, so this is how you have to design the this page or this design this freelancer websites, header and nav design. Okay, and in next video I will discuss how to design the entire page. Okay, so with respect to horizontal navbar, that much is this. If you understand this property or why you are adding those properties to that particular element, if you got that, nothing is difficult. It is very, very simple to design the web pages with HTML and CSS. Okay, so now if I want this navbar as a vertical navbar, okay, if I want navbar as a vertical navbar, then what I did here to make this navbar horizontal, okay, I will remove everything. Or instead of removing, okay, so I will remove everything. Okay, each and every property I will remove, and I will keep that only, or header and logo and everything I have taken. Okay, so from this onwards I will remove. So this is just a container alignment that we did at the very start of this video. And if I refresh the page here, you will see that my design in this way. I don't want this to be aligned in this way or to the left of this logo. I want this list as a horizontal navbar. So what we, sorry, vertical navbar. Now with respect to horizontal navbar, we have seen. Now I have to show you vertical navbar. So I don't want this to be floated to the left, so it should come down here. Okay, so now this is looking okay. Now we have this list style, so I can remove the list style. Okay, if you are not able to see because that is getting outside of the, that style is outside of the border or body tag, we can say that the outside of the body tag. That's why we want to be able to see this. So okay, so I hope logo alignment will not be a problem for anyone. So now here I will say dot navbar, and since I want this navbar, I don't want a width to take long. It should take a long width, or 70-30%. I will say 10%. 10% width is sufficient for this. 10% width, because since I want vertically, I will take a height maximum. I will say width is 10%. It may be a bigger still. Okay, no problem. Then what I will do, I will say height. Okay, and I will say height is 500 pixel, just to show you. Then I will say background color. Since we do not add background color, we will want to be able to understand how much area it is getting covered. Okay, so this is how my vertical div is aligned to the left side. We, if you want, you can move this or float this to right side also. There will not be any issue. And if you say float right, this will be aligned to the right side. Okay, so this is how float property works. And here you are able to see that dot 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 is a list style. List style coming means when list style is coming, you need to add the property to the UL element, and that is what I have discussed already. So I will do here list style type null. Okay, and list style will be gone now. I want to add some space vertically. Okay, and to add some space, I will select the UL element, not UL, li element, because li is a block level element. Dot navbar, and li has contained this anchor tag, and anchor tag has text. So I will select li to add the line height. And navbar, okay, dot navbar, I will say ul li, and to li I will say line height. And okay, how much line height I wanted to add, I can say here, and it will take a vertical space between two links. Okay, if that looks little small space. I will say this should take 15% so that I can increase the size of this font. Now I wanted to remove the style, that underline I wanted to remove. That is what we call is a text decoration. And if I wanted to add the color to this, okay, I can make this possible. But text property should be given to the immediate parent or the element which contain the text, direct text content. So that is in the anchor tag. So I will say, I will say navbar li in this way. Okay, I will go sequentially. Inside a navbar we have li, sorry, ul. Inside a ul we have li, and inside a li we have an anchor tag. So I will say text decoration, text decoration none. And here if you want you can change the color. Okay, I will say color, and color is okay, ice blue, and yes, color is taken. Now I will make this blue color little bit dark blue so that it should look good. And this is how the content can be aligned, or vertical navbar can be designed. Okay, and you can fit the navbar div anywhere on left side or right side as per the requirement. So here we have seen navbar design in CSS, how to design a horizontal navbar and how to design a vertical navbar. So there is one more topic, that is a navbar with drop down. I will discuss in my next video. To watch that, you need to subscribe the webcam and enjoy your navbar design. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.